Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and hope that you're having a great weekend, especially with the Black Cat trial kind of winding down soon over the next couple of days. But today, here on Sunday, I want to talk about a different topic, and that is that the poll for the symbiotes have closed. This closed actually, it may have closed on Friday, actually. I think it was September the 1st. But anyways, so that's officially been closed. I want to talk about the winners, which honestly, it has a lot of the votes hasn't changed. I think because you could see the votes. I have a feeling that everyone just voted for the one who was winning. That being said, he was a popular one. But I want to talk about what this means going forward. And I know it's going to be some time because I don't expect any of these characters to come out much before the end of the year, if that's even a thing. Otherwise, I think we're probably looking into 2024 at this point. But I want to kind of speculate as to what this might all mean and what characters, plural, we might actually be getting. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. And in case you didn't know what was going on, or you haven't been paying too close attention to this kind of stuff, was in the news about early August, and basically that there was a poll running for almost a month in terms of voting for a symbiote character that we wanted to see as an original character come to Marvel Strike Force. Now, what's interesting is that they've already put in a lot of legwork, it seems, at least in the art side. At least there's some, of all of the characters that we could have got. And to be honest, they mostly look like Venomized versions of the Marvel characters. You might have seen the Pop Funkos that exist out there if you go outside, and so the Groot one and the Thanos one looks pretty much the same. Well, it looks similar to what I've seen in the Groot the Venomized versions of those characters. And then we have Kestrel, and then we have Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer one actually looks really cool. And I don't know if that actually correlates at all to the Funko Pop version. I'm not really sure. I know there is one. I just haven't. There's a huge range of Venomized Funkos, so I haven't seen all of them. But regardless, there's a little bit of a description of the different characters of Silver Surfer symbiote, Groot symbiote, Thanos symbiote, and Kestrel symbiote. And then there was a vote poll that was run, and that has recently finished for. And it says players will have an opportunity and vote for one of four characters they'd like to see bonded with a symbiote, ready to join an upcoming new team. And so I gotta say that I feel like this may have been, because of the amount of work that was kind of pre-done on this, that maybe we're actually going to be getting all four. And the reason why I'm suggesting this is because obviously then if we do get all four, then that leaves a slot for one character, aka a legendary character, to bring them all together. Now, before we kind of deep dive into what that would be, why do I think that they could actually give us all four? Again, like what I just kind of alluded to earlier, was that they've kind of done a fair bit of, just some artwork isn't necessarily all the legwork that needs to be done, but I feel like they put some thought into this, and that it would be a bit of a shame. And actually, I think it would be a really cool team to have all four of them, all the symbiote, like a brand new powerful symbiote team. Symbiotes are widely popular. I know that some people might want to see some of the existing symbiotes that are in the game. I know there's a lot of them. I'm not going to go and ramble off, some of them that exist that we could be getting. But I would be interested to see whether or not, these characters end up being purely villain characters, or if there's a chance that any of them could be heroic versions of them. I mean, we don't know to what extent the symbiote, in the story-wise, we don't know to what extent, the symbiotes were bonded to them. Some of them we could presume that are going to be villainous characters, but, three of them are existing hero characters. Thanos is a villain character, of course, but if you expand on them, some of them have some pretty cool things, and then the other ones have, less and more kind of artwork down below here. We have Kestrel here with that. The Silver Surfer one I feel was like the most detailed, actually, because we had Silver Surfer here, which looks really, really badass. The armor looks really awesome. The board looks really awesome. It looks to be like a spear of sorts here, rather than, I don't know, it doesn't even use anything, right? But it looks like a spear and a board, and you can see a little kind of mock-up here down below of him kind of riding it with the spear, whatever weapon that happens to be. I don't know if they actually explain that really that much, but anyways, Silver Surfer won at 37%. Oh yeah, Thanos with this one actually was the most boring, even though people voted him second. I just think that the kind of the venomized Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet that looks to be venomized as well kind of looks a bit boring. But what could be really cool as a character for Thanos is that he's already like pre-equipped with the Infinity Gauntlet. No more of this like having five. Like it was cool back then. Back when he first came out with Ebony, when Ebony Maw came out, which allowed him to collect all the stones and become empowered. That was really cool at the time, but it really forced you to have like the entire team together in order for that to function. And so this would be really cool, so that he's just a plug and play character, or well, within the team, I suppose. But he's already has the Infinity Gauntlet powers in this instance. So we had Silver Surfer Symbiote, 37%, Thanos at 27%, we had Kestrel at 21%, and Groot at 13%. I think the reason why Kestrel maybe even got 21% was just because Kestrel, when they were first released, was so overpowered that we're like, okay, a Kestrel Symbiote version must be equally overpowered. So who knows? So what would this all be for? And okay, I'm just going to bring this out here again. Who is this? Well, if you, again, don't really know much about Marvel lore, this is Knull, the King in Black. And he was really big. I would say more recently, was it pre-COVID now? Honestly, I don't remember. I think it was pre-COVID. With the King in Black series, the comic series went through. I forget the exact. I have it actually. I just forget when it came out because COVID just kind of wrecked my memory a little bit here. But anyways, Knull is basically the creator, the god of the symbiotes, essentially, and this makes a lot of sense. We talked about him actually. Probably because some of us thought that he was going to come out previously. Very popular. Symbiotes in general are very popular. And so I could see him being the legendary linchpin. That wasn't the right word. But the legendary that kind of brings the whole team together. And again, why do I think that there's going to be 4 of them? I think that... So what's the point of the poll? I guess is the better question. If there's going to be a team of 5 symbiotes with the legendary symbiote, what was the point of the poll? I guess I should address that because I didn't. And I should have. And maybe that's between, who comes out first. Maybe they actually come in maybe it's a year long, right? For all we know, maybe it's a year long, and there's a team surrounding each of them, and then there's some culmination, and Knull is like the 2024 version of Apocalypse 2.0. I don't know, Star Wars Galaxies, Galactic Legends, whatever you want to call it. And while they did say they weren't going to do things, I don't believe when they kind of say they're just flat out not going to do something again. And so this is just pure 2024 speculation for me at this point, because the 3rd trial will probably come out this fall. 4th trial will be early next year. And we don't really know if it's going to culminate necessarily with what's his name? Mephisto. So I think this could be the next thing. Either it's going to be one team and they're all on it, or it could be a year long where they all have their own team. I think that too many symbiotes, I think, unless they build a team around these characters. They're all going to be bio, though. I'm pretty sure they made suggestions. Is it here? I think at least in the Silver Surfer one, they made suggestions that they'd be bio characters. Yeah, the poll for one of these 4 bio characters, yeah, so they did state that. And so for that reason, then it makes me wonder, is this going to be a raid team? Is this the next bio raid team? So if that's the case, then it's not going to be 4 different teams. But it could be a raid team to replace Rebirth in over a year's time. And that's kind of my initial thoughts on that. Also, Knull has come out in other games, including Marvel Contest of Champions. That's his appearance there. I don't know how long ago that was, but yeah, he did come out anyways there. And, obviously it's reminiscent. You can see the symbiote on the chest there with his armor. Like, he has a pretty cool, badass appearance, and he is a character to be feared. So definitely I could see him being a legendary for sure. And if he's not, then he would have to be like a Dark Dimension character, though Dark Dimension characters don't tend to have a team as such. That normally they're not. So I guess that depends on how this gets released. But the reason why I'm kind of thinking, there's a couple of reasons why I think this could be the next bio raid team. And that's mainly because symbiotes have already been a bio raid team. So in some ways, it would be a revamp of the symbiotes tag. but specifically probably whatever this team ends up being. It's going to have a tag specific to that. Not, it might rework a little bit of the symbiotes. I don't know if it'll be worth using the old symbiotes with any of these new characters unless there's like a rework to, say, Symbiote Spider-Man, because some of these teams do have reworks for single characters. Why did I bring this up? And it's mostly because this is my character chart. If you haven't seen it before, I bring this up from time to time. We had Rebirth that came out in December/January of this past year, basically. And so the lifespan of teams have been kind of, I would say less and less. Bionic Avengers, which I think are the next team to be replaced realistically, they finished off in August, basically, August of 2022. And I think that we're looking on the horizon for October. I think that's everyone, like, we would be very surprised if the next trial character is, which also could be Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, we'd be very surprised if it's not tech. If it's not a tech rate team, I think at this point. So that would put them at about 13, 14... I gotta say 13, 14 months till obsoletism, but frankly, they're obsolete now. It's just that, there's no other option other than this team. I wouldn't recommend building them. But Rebirth then, so let's just say a year to 14 months on, would put this at about March of 2024. And so, feasibly, that could be the case. And I know we'll just be wrapping up possibly the trial characters, because I think if we get a character in October, that means we're going to have a trial character in probably like January, February. And so if this comes like March, April, then this could be the start of a new thing, or we don't really know, right? What's going to happen in 2024 as far as what their plans are. They usually plan at least 6+ months out. And so for that reason, I think that they might have this on the go, but what they actually want to do with this is another thing. But I could plausibly see this as the next bio raid team. I think this makes it easy for them as well. And I would actually love to see the entire team come out, because I think that they did actually do some pretty good jobs in designing all of this work. I like what they look like, and I love symbiotes. I think we can all agree, or most of us can agree, I think that, symbiotes are pretty badass. And this is cool. Or, like this version of, if I didn't know who Kestrel was already, like if I saw this, if this was the original Kestrel, I'm like, wow, that's pretty badass. So I'm actually for this, and I would love to have a full team of these characters that they, work to design, because I think this would be really awesome. And the icing on the cake, of course, would be for Knull to be released as the 5th member for this team in a legendary fashion. However they want to release it, I don't care. But Knull plus these 4, I would actually open my wallet for that. So I know that there's 4 original characters, but are they really? Because some of them, the designs honestly kind of taken from the Venomized kind of series. I don't know if it's they are original characters, yes, but at the same time, it's not as original as, say, as Deathpool or Kestrel or Spider Weaver or whatever. These are kind of known characters. They're just kind of being redesigned. That's all. So I think the work put in is a little bit less than what it will be from the original characters and the story creation and that kind of perspective. But yeah, no, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to see this as a full team, and like I said, I would actually, for once, open up my wallet a little bit to pay for these characters, which I don't normally would say or do. But hey, if Scopely wants to get some of my money, then you know what they need to do. Make all the characters. Silver Surfer does look pretty cool, though, so if we're only getting one, we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I wanted to just throw some speculation out there, because I'd love to know what the community thinks about what's going to happen, and whether or not you're happy with... I think we all knew that Silver Surfer was going to win anyways, but hey, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are about that. Anyways, that's the end of the video, everyone. Have a great rest of the weekend, and there'll be more videos to come, of course, throughout the week, and we'll be talking about the end of the Black Cat trial event, as well as the upcoming main events that are going to be starting on Wednesday. So until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.